Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Shyam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirviseshasha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Manchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on, I'm just going to open up the page. One moment, please. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 6. Text 26. Uddhav Uvacha Nanute Tattva Samradhya Rishi Koshravo Antike Sakshat Bhagavatadishto Martya Lokam Jihashata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Uddhav said, "You may take lessons from the great learned sage Maitreya, who is nearby and who is worshipable for reception of transcendental knowledge. He was directly instructed by the personality of Godhead while he was about to quit this mortal world. Although one may be well versed in the transcendental science, one should be careful about the offense of Maryada Vyatikrama, or impertinently surpassing a greater personality. According to the scriptural injunction, one should be very careful of transgressing the law of Maryada Vyatikrama, because by doing so, one loses his duration of life, his opulence, fame, and piety, and the blessings of all the world. To be well versed in the transcendental science necessitates awareness of the techniques of spiritual science." So what Prabhupada is saying, and why did Uddhav ask Vidur to go to Maitreya Muni to receive the transcendental knowledge, is because to follow these codes, the codes that, Maitreya Muni is in a superior position. He's in the renounced order, and he was himself instructed by Lord Krishna. So it is more better for you, Vidur, that you go hear from him, because Maitreya Muni was nearby. He was in the near vicinity. So Uddhav, being well aware of these technicalities of transcendental science, advised Vidur to approach Maitreya Rishi to receive transcendental knowledge. Vidur wanted to accept Uddhav as his spiritual master, but Uddhav did not accept the post because Vidur was as old as Uddhav's father, and therefore Uddhav could not accept him as his disciple, especially when Maitreya was present nearby. The rule is that in the presence of a higher personality, one should not be very eager to impart instructions, even if one is competent and well versed. So Uddhav decided to send an elderly person like Vidur to Maitreya, another elderly person, but he was well versed also because he was directly instructed by the Lord while he was about to quit this mortal world. Since both Uddhav and Maitreya were directly instructed by the Lord, both had the authority to become the spiritual master of Vidur or anyone else. But Maitreya, being elderly, had the first claim to becoming the spiritual master, especially for Vidur, who was much older than Uddhav. So we can see here that Uddhav is not just trying to get the fame for himself, oh, let me become your spiritual master. No, he's saying according to the codes, it's better that you go accept Maitreya Muni as your spiritual master. One should not be eager to become a spiritual master cheaply for the sake of profit and fame, but one should become a spiritual master only for the service of the Lord. So one should become a guru only to serve Krishna, otherwise, no. The Lord never tolerates the impertinence of Maryada Vyatikrama. One should never pass over the honor due to an elderly spiritual master in the interest of one's own personal gain and fame. Impertinence on the part of the pseudo-spiritual master is very risky to progressive spiritual realization. So it's quite clear, just the codes of moral conduct of who should accept. Like if he's elderly, then he should be the spiritual master, especially because Maitreya Muni was nearby. It's not that Maitreya Muni was very, very far away and Uddhav was sending him. No, it was because he was especially nearby. So reading on, text 27.
Sorry, so you mean it was because of the age?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what here Prabhupada is saying. It's because of the age. They both got the knowledge from Krishna directly. But because Maitreya Muni was nearby, where Uddhav and Vidur were speaking, so Maitreya Muni was not a very long distance away from there. So that's why Uddhav told him it's better you go to hear the spiritual knowledge from Maitreya Muni. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So not because of renounced order, but because of age. Because they're equally qualified. So text 27. Shri Shuko Vacha iti saha vidurena vishwamurter guna katya suddhayapla vitoru tapaha shanam eva puline yamshasvashustam shamoshita apu aupa gavir nisham tato agat. Sukdev Goswami said, O king, after first discussing with Vidur the transcendental name, fame, qualities, etc., on the bank of the Jamuna, Uddhav was overwhelmed with great affliction. He passed the night as if it were a moment, and thereafter he went away. The word used here for Krishna is Vishwamurti. Both Uddhav and Vidur were in great affliction because of Lord Krishna's departure, and the more they discussed the transcendental name, fame, and qualities of the Lord, the more the picture of the Lord became visible to them everywhere. Such visualization of the transcendental form of the Lord is neither false nor imaginary, but is factual absolute truth. When the Lord is perceived as Vishwamurti, it is not that he loses his personality or transcendental eternal form, but he becomes visible in the same form everywhere. So because Uddhav and Vidur are so attached to Krishna and they were glorifying Krishna, their separation was so much, and Krishna revealed himself. They were able to see Krishna everywhere. And so Prabhupada is saying that it doesn't mean that Krishna loses his personality, that he's not in Golok Vrindavan when Uddhav and Vidur are seeing him. No, he's still there in Golok Vrindavan. Krishna is omnipotent. He can be anywhere, everywhere. So let's read on. Text 28. Rajo Vacha Nidanam Upagateshu Vrishni Bhojeswa Adi-Ratha Yuthapeshu Mukhyaha Satu Katham Avashishta Uddhavoyad Dharir Api Tat Yaja Akritim Trayadhishaha. The king inquired, at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Rishni and Bhoja dynasties, who were the best of the great commanders, why did Uddhav alone remain? According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Nidhanam means the transcendental abode of the Lord. Ni means the highest, and Dhanam means opulence. And because the abode of the Lord is the highest manifestation of transcendental opulence, his abode can therefore be called Nidhanam. Apart from the grammatical elucidation, the real purpose of the word Nidhanam is to indicate that all the members of the Rishni and Bhoja dynasties were direct associates of the Lord, and after the end of his pastimes, all the associates were dispatched to their respective positions in the transcendental abode. So here Prabhupada is saying, he's giving the word-to-word meaning of the word Nidhanam. We just read up. And so he's saying that the Nidhanam here refers to, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, who has written his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam in the Satsandarbhas. So it means, Nidhanam means the Vaikuntha Lok, the highest manifestation. Ni, he's saying, is highest, Dhanam, opulence. So the highest place. And also to indicate that the associates of the Lord, Rishni and Bhoja dynasty, they were eternal associates. They were directly associated with the Lord. Because not ordinary people can take part in the pastimes of Krishna. You know how we can see when the president is there, he's surrounded by his own people, his own team. Many people, many aides. So similarly, Krishna is also, when he appears to perform pastimes, he is surrounded by his associates, confidential servants. He'll also tell the demigods to appear, like that. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur elucidates the meaning of Akritim as pastimes. A means complete and Kritim means transcendental pastimes. Since the Lord is identical with his transcendental body, there is no question of his changing or quitting his body. Now this is what majority of the people don't understand, that the Lord and his body is the same. He does not have a separate body. Like right now, we are the soul and we are inside this material body. And Then when we get liberated, when we go back to the spiritual world, then we will also be in our spiritual form. We will not have a material body. At that time, there will be no difference between ourself and a separate covering. There's no inside and outside in the spiritual realm. The spiritual body is what it is. And so that is what Krishna's body is, Satchid Ananda. And so he doesn't take any material form. He doesn't take any material form, so he doesn't need to give up any material form. To act in accordance with the rules and customs of the material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body. But the pure devotees of the Lord know well the actual fact. It is necessary, therefore, for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of the great acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. To others who are not devotees of the Lord, the comments and explanations of such acharyas may appear to be grammatical jugglery, but to the students who are in the line of disciplic succession, the explanations of the great acharyas are quite fit. So again, the qualification is, are we sincerely trying to understand Krishna? Are we sincerely trying to understand the absolute truth? Or do we have a preconceived notion that according to me, this should be God? And then no matter what someone says, I will not agree to that. You know, like for example, when we go to school, the teacher teaches us ABC. And so in good faith, we learn that ABC and it all makes sense eventually, because at that time, we might not understand why I have to learn this alphabet. But as we go in higher grades, we can understand, oh, by learning this ABC, I can read, I can write, I can communicate. So, but if somebody says, no, the teacher doesn't know anything, so why should I learn? And then that student will not learn. Similarly, here the devotees, they want to understand about Krishna. They want to understand the absolute truth. And so they follow the authority, the great commentaries of the acharyas. And people who are not in the disciplic succession, who don't want to understand, they are unable to understand it. The word upagateshu is also significant. All the members of Rishni and Boja directly reach the abode of the Lord. Other devotees do not reach the abode of the Lord directly, but the pure associates of the Lord have no attraction for the opulence of any planets of the material world. Sometimes, due to inquisitiveness, devotees who are to be promoted to the abode of the Lord have some attraction for the opulence of the higher material planets above the earth, and thus they desire to see them while going up to the perfection. But the Rishnis and the Bojas were directly dispatched because they had no attraction for material planets. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also suggests that according to the Amar Kosha dictionary, Akriti also means signal. Lord Krishna ordered Uddhav by signal to go to Badrikashram after his departure, and Uddhav, as a pure devotee of the Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or the abode of the Lord. That was the cause of his remaining alone even after the departure of the Lord from the face of the earth. So Prabhupada is saying that the direct associates of the Lord, the pure devotees, after they leave this material world, they go directly to Vaikuntha Loka. There's so many planets in the Vaikuntha Loka. Depends on what is our ras then, what's our relationship. But there are sometimes some devotees who still have some material desire. They still want to see, let me go see what is on the higher planet. You know, like we want to go sightseeing sometimes. Let me go see what's in another country. Similarly, so those who want to go to a high planet, they first go to that high planet and then gradually they go to the spiritual world. And here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying because Krishna had given a service to Uddhav. He had told him specifically, you go to Badrikashram and you give this knowledge that I'm giving you. So Uddhav had received an instruction. He had to do this service. And so he said, okay, I will do the service instead of going back home. It's like following the order. No? He was following the order of Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So the pure devotees of the Lord, they are more interested to follow the order of the Lord rather than be with him also personally. That's how the very pure devotees, the very high stages of devotion. You know, there's so much in love, because then what's the symptom of love is service. That, oh, it's okay, you want me to do this for you, this will make you happy, I will do it. Even if it means that I need to be away from you, I need to be separate from you. But then out of love, then they perform that. Shri Shukovacha Brahma Shapa Padeshena Kalena Moga Vanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Sfitam Tyakshan Deham Achintayat. Sukadev Goswami replied, my dear king, the cursing of the Brahmanas was only a plea, but the actual fact was the supreme desire of the Lord. He wanted to disappear from the face of the earth after dispatching his excessively numerous family members. He thought to himself as follows. So again, the story is coming back that Parikshit Maharaj was putting this question to Sukadev Goswami. And then so Sukadev Goswami is saying it was the desire of the Lord that he wanted to go back. And before he went back, he wanted the Yadu dynasty to go back. In this verse, the word Tyakshan is very significant in relation to Lord Sri Krishna's leaving his body. Since he is the eternal form of existence, knowledge, and bliss, his body and his self are identical. Therefore, how is it possible that he would leave his body and then disappear from the vision of the world? There is a great controversy amongst the non-devotees or Mayavadis about the mysterious disappearance of the Lord, and the doubts of those men with a poor fund of knowledge have been very elaborately cleared by Srila Jiva Goswami in his Krishna Sandarbha. So Krishna's body is Satchid Ananda. He does not have a material body. It's him. There's nothing inside of Krishna. Like many people say, there is some philosophies that say, oh, you don't need to surrender to Krishna, the person. You need to surrender something that is inside Krishna. But there is nothing inside Krishna. That is him. There's inside and outside is the same. He's Satchid Ananda. We cannot put our own material imposition on Krishna. His body is Satchidananda. We, the soul, are Satchidananda, but right now we are covered by the material body. So there is always a controversy with the Mayavadis, who are non-devotees, who want to not give the credit that Krishna is due as the Supreme Lord. The Mayavadis, they want to take away the greatness of Krishna, and then they say that everyone is God. But Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this in Krishna Sandarbha. Srila Jiva Goswami has written extensive commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam.
Sorry, I just want to ask one question. So Mayavadis say that everybody is God, or that everybody has God inside them?
Mayavadis say that after you leave this body, you will become God. You are God, I'm God, everyone's God. Because they say the Brahman, they say we are all Brahman, which is true. But then they negate that there is a supreme Brahman, that there is a higher personality.
So they don't believe that Krishna exists.
They don't believe that Krishna is God.
Oh.
They basically they think that they are God and that everyone is God. You are God, I'm God, everyone's God. But now we have forgotten we are God because we are in this material nature. But that philosophy is wrong.
Yeah, how can you forget if you're God?
Exactly.
Then that means you're not God.
Exactly. That's the greatest flaw there,
Hmm.
Yeah, how can God forget something? God is all powerful.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then that means that most of the people are Mayavadi
that's right.
in the world, because they believe that
That's
everybody is God. You are also God. I am also God. The tree is God. They say like that.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's rampant. This impersonalism is very much in the whole world. And so that's the reason we can see that Prabhupada's commentaries are always trying to take us away from this impersonalist theory, this Mayavad theory, and keep on bringing us that Krishna is a person, he has a Satchidananda form, and he's the supreme person. We are all his parts and parcel. That was, and that's the truth, that's the fact. We are not God. We do not have the capability to be God. And not that, oh, right now I'm God, and after I do I gain a lot of knowledge, I'll become God. Or if I do some mystic power, then I'll become God. No, nobody can become God. Krishna was God even when he was a baby. He killed Putana when he was few months old. Even the way he appeared to Devki, he appeared in his Narayan four-handed form. He appeared as Narayan to her. And she told him, please, you change yourself into a baby form, otherwise Kamsa will kill you out of a mother affection. So we don't appear in Narayan form when we are born. Right? So that philosophy is wrong, and it is everywhere. And yeah, so the more we hear and chant, then we will be able to understand the truth.
So Mayavad and Brahma Jyoti, they are different, right?
Brahma Jyoti is the light which is coming from.
Yeah. So the
Krishna's body.
people who believe in the Brahma Jyoti and the people who believe the Mayavad, they are two different sects, right?
So it depends again. There are
Oh.
people who believe in the Brahma Jyoti, then they can be the Brahmavadi.
Okay.
Like the Brahmavadi who say that they don't say that there is no God. They don't say that I am God.
Okay.
Brahmavadis don't say I am God, but they are situated on the platform of the soul, and they are relishing great pleasure by being in the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay.
And then, but they do not understand that there is higher pleasure than just being in the Brahma Jyoti. There is higher pleasure being with Krishna himself directly in our spiritual form, because in the Brahma Jyoti we are still as a seed. Our spiritual body is not yet developed at that time. It's only when we go to a spiritual planet that our spiritual body is fully developed, our form.
So
So they
what
believe
to
in
the
Krishna?
Mayavadi? Yeah.
Sorry. You can ask.
No problem. No, so then what do the Mayavadis believe when they leave the body? Where do they go? To the Brahma Jyoti, right?
Yeah, but they think that then they have become God.
They merge, na? They just merge. Right?
Yeah, they think that they merge, but there is no way that anybody can merge.
Anybody can merge.
Yeah.
So that means they also have that thing conception that they merge with God in Brahma Jyoti.
Yeah, and they think that they become God.
And they become God.
Yeah, but the soul, can never merge inside God.
We cannot.
We are always individual. Yeah, we always remain individual. Like, for example, if a green bird enters a green tree, so what the Mayavadis say, that now the bird has become the tree. But it's not true. The bird is the bird and the tree is the tree. Even though the bird is sitting on the tree, the bird is separate than the tree. Right? Does that make sense?
So yes, that makes sense. But then, do Brahmavadi believe in God? Do they believe that
Brahmavadi.
Krishna exists?
Brahmavadi believe, yes, that they believe that that I am not God. They know they are not
They
God.
know that
Yes.
they are not God, and they believe in Krishna, right?
Yes.
Any God, they believe that supreme God is
They
there.
believe that, yes, that I am not God. God is higher than me.
And so Mayavadis don't believe in God, and they say that I am God,
That's right.
right?
That's
And
right.
then the Brahmavadi, they believe that they will go and they will sit in the Brahma Jyoti,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the Mayavadi believe that they will become God when
Yeah.
they die.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. They believe that they will become God when they die.
They will become God when they die. So are the Mayavadi also thinking like, is the Mayavadi thought that also, that, oh, maybe I was Arjun in the last life and now I'm in this body? Is it that also something like the Mayavadi think like that?
Sure. Yeah, that is Mayavad philosophy, because nobody can become Arjun. Arjun is Arjun.
Yeah, right? Nobody can become Arjun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Arjun will not come for on earth for the mundane things.
And we can never become Arjun. Like, how can I become somebody I'm not?
Yeah, because the soul has individuality, right?
Yeah, we are we have a particular name, a particular form, a particular duty. Like, for example, now if I say I become you, is that possible? Not possible, right?
No.
You are an individual, I'm an individual. So this individuality exists eternally.
Okay.
Exists eternally.
Okay. So two differences between them. That is much clear now. Okay.
Yeah. So the impersonalists, the Mayavadis, they think that they'll become God. And that is not possible for anyone to become God.
And we hear many times, yeah, like, the Mayavadis, they say, na, that, yeah, you are God, I am God.
Yeah.
It's God.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Which
that
is
is
not
covered atheism, actually. It is covered atheism, because they are not accepting the supremacy of God. So means they're not believing there is a God. God means somebody who's much greater than me, higher than me, no?
And
So,
then who believes that God is light? Is it a Paramatma realization?
so then God is light, that is the Brahman realization.
Brahman realization.
Yeah, that's Brahmavadi.
Brahmavadi. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not wrong, but their realization of
It's
God
limited.
is
I think
limited.
it's just limited.
Yes, that's
How
right.
many sects are there? There is Brahmavadi, there is Mayavadi, and devotee.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
And Vaishnava is the devotee, right?
Pure devotees of the Lord. Yeah,
Pure devotees are the Vaishnavas.
Vaishnavas are the pure devotees. Yeah. And then, of course, there are the Shunyavadis. The Shunyavadi are the one who say everything zero,
That is
like the
Lord
Buddhists.
Buddha.
Huh?
Right.
Buddhist.
Like the Buddhists. That's why when we say Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine, that Srila Prabhupada came to take away all this voidism and impersonalism, and
What
establish
it means? What it means? Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Here, let's read it.
Yeah. So what it means?
That
Nirvishesha
you are
Shunyavadi.
preaching the message of Lord Caitanya Dev and delivering the Western countries, which are filled with impersonalism and voidism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's what it is. Because there are very few Brahmavadis. Mostly everybody is Mayavad and atheist. There are very few people who really accept that, yes, God is higher than me, Most of the people believe that I will go inside the light and I will become the light. I will become God. I will merge into the existence of God. And that is impersonalism, Mayavadi.
Yeah, so maximum people are Mayavadi, right?
Yes,
Maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if I go back and see, like I have heard, or maybe people still believe that I am God, you are God, we all are God. This is a very, very common thing that we have heard.
Yes. Yes.
Because then it also boosts your, you also feel so great. Oh, I am also God.
Yeah.
Then that's how you get attracted to such things.
Yes, and that is the last snare of Maya. That's how Maya keeps us here in the material world.
Oh, so that's why the devotees are so few, because it is not easy. Like you need that sukriti, agyat sukriti to become a devotee, right? So that's why we should be giving the Harinam, Sankirtan and everything. That is why it is so important, right?
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Exactly.
Because you never know who you can touch, like just giving a simple prasad, you can touch. And as you mentioned that if you give even a Bhagavad Gita to somebody, so that's an Agyat Sukriti, and no matter in which life, but that person will reach, like he will try to remember Krishna and he has come under something, right?
Yes, yes.
But
Our
if he
emotional
reads, no?
service.
Yeah.
It doesn't
But
matter. It doesn't matter. Bhagavad Gita is spiritual, it's transcendental.
yeah,
Of course,
every house should have.
yeah. If he reads, of course, his progress will be faster. But if he doesn't read, the minute he's touched Bhagavad Gita as it is, the real Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita which has some mundane commentary, because then that's not Bhagavad Gita at all. That's just some material literature. Yeah. So if somebody's even touched Bhagavad Gita as it is, then their spiritual life begins.
Wow.
And that's why you see that the book distributors, they will first give the Bhagavad Gita to anybody in hand, whether they give a donation for it or no. They say, I don't want it, they'll return it back. But the devotees will first let them touch the Bhagavad Gita, just so that
Wow.
their devotional service begins. And somewhere somewhere they'll become devotees, somehow they are.
So that means that we should give the small books as gift to other people,
Yes, we should.
right?
Yes, that's why Prabhupada wrote so many books. That's why book distribution, he
And
so
for
much.
everybody's knowledge, there is a book. Bhavna ji has this book of Prahlad Maharaj. I got these two. So maybe if everybody likes them, this is the Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. And the other one is one more. I got these two recently from the temple.
Okay.
So maybe like other people also, they are very small books. I can put the picture. So maybe you can ask Bhavna ji. And this is just 50 NT each.
Wonderful.
I'll share both the books picture in the group. So we can just try to buy, and because if we have, then we can give it to somebody. If we don't have it, how we are going to give? Because we're not going to go and buy. It is the Hare Krishna challenge, exposing a misdirected civilization. I got these two books.
Very good.
So maybe we can just keep at our home, and whenever we are going to someone's house, we can just take a book as a gift to them or their children or anybody.
Yes.
Or we can give to our friends also, right? If we are not going to have, then how we are going to give?
Yeah. Very good suggestion. Excellent.
So maybe everybody in the group, they can
You can put it in.
I'll put it in the group. Yeah, I'll put both the pictures, and we can buy these books from Bhavna ji. So temple, that would be really, really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know. Thank you. So shall we stop here for today?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.